It's the weekend, it's Mailbag, and I am joined by three bucket-hatted amigos today in Laura, Matt, and Paul. It's an Everton-free weekend, so I guess everyone is feeling pretty good.
No,
Why is
sorry.
that?
I'm so hungover today. I'm so tired. And the anxiety is real as well.
Well,
It's that
stint on Mailbag's exactly what you need to clear your head.
it's
Mm,
that
Yeah.
disgusting beer you had.
What
sorry,
were you
no.
on?
It was was this the IPA you're talking about or that mad cider? Because
It was a keg IPA
of
which tasted exactly like gin and tonic.
it was a gin and tonic IPA.
Oh,
It was
Yeah,
it was nice though. That
no, it's
that
the devil's juice. They
that
Don't
they
make
were so
describe that
focused on
mix as
asking if they
shoddy.
could. They shouldn't ask if they should.
that that
It was
chili
awful.
that chili and pear cider was a bit mad as well. Like,
Chili and pear.
yeah, that's what they had on tap in the Bridie last night.
Wow.
did it have a nice heat?
It was a bit of a kick.
Wow. Not sure
Like
if
a
I can
Japanese mule,
cider.
Leslie.
What's that?
Like a Japanese mule, Leslie.
Right, we've got loads of questions. I think 90% from Maggie, maybe. But we'll start off with one from Peter Mack, who said, "Who's a player you stuck by the most? Really wanted them to do well before eventually realizing / admitting they were absolutely shite."
Neil
Uh,
Mo-
Laura, go on then.
Neil Mopane. I honestly thought he would come in and have a nice little partnership with Dom, and I was convinced. I was convinced because one, he's French. All right, he's too short for me, but I thought, yeah, he's a bit all right. Like, so I thought he's a little bit of a narc, and I thought
Mm.
that's exactly what we needed. Just some little yard dog going around while like Dom could just get in the box, and he could sort of have like a nice little partnership with him off the back of him, but it never happened.
I think that was the disappointing thing for me. That I mean, obviously that he didn't score enough goals. Didn't get enough knocking from him, did we? There was no.
I think we saw a couple of glimpses of it. Who was it against? Was it Arsenal? Arsenal at home last season.
Yeah.
Maybe he did have a little bit of a kick off, and I thought, oof, yes, into
Yeah,
the and then that was kind of it. Because I thought when he was at Brighton, like he was a bit more narky. He's a bit like Paul.
Especially against Leeds.
Yeah, you hate
I'm good, damn it.
it.
I'm a stalwart at the Bacalao, you know, Laura. You know that.
Referees nightmare.
1/3 of the referee's nightmare.
who were the other two-thirds?
Paddy Boylan
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Keith.
does
And
Boylan give it out?
the Blue Room's own Keith Tomlin.
Yep,
Oh wow, okay.
yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. That's fair enough.
Sassy Boylan.
Boylan's a little bit of a Rolls Royce at times, though, isn't he? No.
I, I, I'm not. I prefer not to speak.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. I've got that wrong. But Paddy Boylan's my player. If you know, I've stuck by him. I stuck by him just then. Paul, who are you saying?
I was initially going to go with Dennis Strachilesi because I wanted it to work out for him. We all knew his limitations, and there was that brief spell where he did quite well. And you're thinking, oh, hang on, there might be a bit of a player there somewhere, and it just didn't happen. I'm not going to go with Strachilesi. I'm going to go with Josh King instead
God.
because it was adamant when we brought him in.
Yeah,
think I thought he'll do all right, and then he had opportunities here and there, didn't really do much, and then we got rid of him, and then inevitably first game back at Goodison, he scores an hat-trick.
Mm-hmm.
it
The
was very,
difference,
So I'm going to go with Josh King.
very
the
evident.
difference in the size of him when he was playing for us, and then when he was playing for Watford, because he whipped his top off, didn't he? As if to say, "Look, I'm not dead fat," like when David Ginola did, but he was a little bit. But he kind of did that and was like, "Rick, it's like, why weren't you like that when you played with us?" Well,
Yeah.
that was very, very evident. Matt,
Gerard Deulofeu.
oh,
Really, really wanted him to be like a world-class winger for us, and he just couldn't beat a man. And when he didn't know when to stop running, and he just went straight out, turned round, thumbs up, bit of Joe action. But yeah, he was just what could have been. What could have been.
yeah.
He still loves us, and we still love him, but it just wasn't there.
Mm.
Get him back with better, Stewie.
We need to stop with this whole like romanticizing
I
all
know.
of this, honestly.
Why? That's what football should be
No.
about.
I thought you were going to say stop romanticising Beto then. I was going to say I'll do no such thing.
No, well, I'm all in on Beto. Yeah, but you've just said there, like, Delafeu just didn't do it at Everton. So don't bother bringing him back. Richarlison, I can understand.
Oh, I'm not saying bringing him back, but I'm still romanticising it.
It's very rare that the comeback ever works, isn't it? Very rare.
Pino?
I think my one's Stuart Barlow. I fully went out on a limb with my mates for that lad because I thought, I think it was more out of absolute desperation because I think Fowler was coming through at Liverpool at the same time. And I was like, I had bets with my mates in school that Stuart Barlow would play for England before Robbie Fowler.
Ooh.
And most of that, I think, was based on the volley, which I never stopped talking about. The volley he scored against Ipswich I think it was on my 17th birthday. I was at Goodison and he took it down on his chest and volleyed it into the top corner and it was unreal. And I was thinking, there you go. And then I think he missed a shitload of chances at Anfield the week before or the week after. Oh, yeah. So Stuart Barlow for me. There you go. Everton play, you've still not, this is from Dave Mason. Everton play, you've still not forgiven for failing to convert an absolute sitter. He's going Mick Madart in the 1-1 draw at Anfield, Feb 1998, despite his classy cushioned assist that day. Matt? Oh, sorry, you've struggled with your headphones there. Laura, go to you.
Oh, don't. I haven't even thought about it. There's nothing going on in this brain this morning, sorry.
Dales?
Nathan Patterson against Fulham the other week.
Oh.
You've got to put that away, I'm sorry. You've got to. I know you're right back. That's no excuse. Seamus Coleman buries that.
100%.
To hit the bar as well from there made it even worse, didn't it?
Yeah. I think it was harder to hit the bar, but there we are.
Definitely.
I feel like there's been a couple of Dominic Calvert-Lewin chances that he's just kind of scuffed like down the years.
Villa away a couple of years ago.
Yes.
That was the Villa
I think
go
it might
top,
have
wasn't
been under Benitez. Yeah. I don't think it was the Villa go top
I
game.
thought it was.
I don't think. It might be.
I think it
under Silva.
Yeah, I think it was early on in the game, about 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm thinking of
Conor McAleny.
Benitez one, Damari Gray went down the other end, missed, and then Villa immediately went down the other end and put them 1-0 up. It's a separate game. But yeah, Calvert-Lewin at Villa.
I was just going to say the Conor McAleny chance against Arsenal away, but that wasn't a sitter, was it? That was more of a bit half volley, was it?
Lukaku's penalty at Wembley. Any excuse to bring that up?
Yeah, well, I was trying to avoid that one, to be honest.
Matt, you got anything?
I mean, it feels at this point there's too many to mention, but Paul's right, going recent. It's not even sitters. It's like the 4-on-2 with Dan Juma.
Yeah.
Like, I just haven't got the energy to be seeing us spewing chances like that. Just, it's not FIFA, mate. You are allowed to just square it across the box for a tap in. Yeah. No one's going to shout at you. If football's a simple game, isn't it? Like, come on.
Another one's just popped into my head as well. I remember Wayne Rooney against Man United on the final day. And if we'd have won, I think we'd have clinched Europe. I think it was either Kevin Campbell put a ball into him or headed the flick on. And he just needed to stick a foot at the back post. He ended up missing it, and I just vividly remember him putting the goalie's towel behind the goal over his head because he couldn't believe he'd missed it.
That when we finished 7th?
Yeah.
Would have got us to 6th. Was that when they won the league?
Yeah, they won lifted the title at Goodison.
We've seen that far too often, haven't we? Teams coming to Goodison and clinching the title or wear away at their ground and they clinch the title. It's not even funny anymore. Horrible. Tangled Up in Blues has asked, which of these phrases should be banned from all Everton content for the rest of the season?
Okay.
Ice fit or back on the grass?
I haven't heard Dash fit.
Oh, you must have.
No.
Surely.
Yeah. There's fit and then there's dice fit.
Dice fit.
I made a mess of that, didn't I? I
think back on the grass because it's so ambiguous. It's ridiculous. Like Seamus Coleman, the Seamus Coleman content was it yesterday was great. I loved it, obviously. But what does that even mean back on the grass? Like,
Got slight weed smoking connotations as well, perhaps.
well, whatever he does in his spare time, that's up to him.
Exactly.
It's very much like, go outside and touch some grass. Great. Like,
Yeah, similar
what
vibe, innit?
exactly does it mean? It's just very ambiguous, all of it, isn't it? I don't even know what dice fit necessarily means either. Does that mean they've had a gaff a day and they've?
I think that's my one as well. I for the same reason Laura's just mentioned there, I would probably go with dice fit because we're half a year now into Sean Dyche's Everton journey, and I still have no earthly idea what being dice fit actually means.
No,
because they don't particularly look much fitter, do they? We're not talking Martinez levels of fitness here, but I mean, they don't look like they could run all game and run teams off the park.
There's also a few terms I'd ban Sean Dyche from using. One of them being an alignment at the club, and when we talk about signing players, structuring deals that are right. No, mate, just tell everyone we haven't got any money, and we're trying to do deals that are right for us. Structuring deals, grow up.
Yeah. I mean, it's like all those loans in the mid 2000s never happened. We're fine with that. Just do it. We're all happy with that.
Yeah.
Matt, what would you say out of those two?
Probably Dyche fit after all that discussion, to be honest. Yeah. It's just I like romanticising players, but romanticising managers not so much. Let's put it that way.
Never ends well, that was it. It never works.
Let's not forget the what was the Rafa graph stuff?
The Rafa graph.
I'd still hate you for that.
That was quite the ride, the Rafa graph.
That was ridiculous. I was an 8 at one point. That makes me feel.
Tell you what, at the start of that season, just before Man United, everyone must have been hitting at least a 6. Even the most sceptical must have been hitting a 6 because we were doing all right.
The last episode I did under the as him being manager, I think I'd said an 8, so I'd just like that to be deleted, please.
Well, I just think we should never ever talk of his time at the club ever again.
Yeah, let's just leave this all out.
I keep
forgetting it, and people keep reminding me, and it makes me sad.
You made Matt sad now, Laura. You'll be happy with yourself.
No, I don't like seeing Matt sad.
No one likes seeing Matt sad. Matt should never be sad.
Go back to painting your TIE fighter and you'll be okay.
That's not a euphemism, by the way. Before we came on, painting a small TIE fighter.
It was Star Wars related.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a vote in for Dan, who will definitely say Dyche fit because he's really not his biggest fan. HumphreysEcho. I sent a question in. What's his name?
Celebrity ref.
I can't.
Celebrity ref, I like that.
So it's definitely celebrity ref.
Celebrity ref. Okay, what's the background to that?
He's a referee. And
is he?
Yeah. Did you not know he was a referee?
No. Oh my God, I'm learning so much about him. His first name and the fact he's a referee.
He doesn't let you off with a sniff, Les. He's a stickler for the rules.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Am I having a stroke here? He was literally on Mailbag the week before last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, who's HumphreysEcho?
No, well, that was it. When I was doing the introductions, his first name completely went out of my head, and I just looked at him and pointed. Dave. Yes, it is.
Poor Dave.
I know. I feel
his other real names can't be disclosed for legal purposes.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
We're
which is his remit.
If anything, Laura, you've asked what's the charge. I think that's in relation to something Dave said.
In relation to something who said? Democracy.
Celebrity ref.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because he's local democracy reporter.
Bringing Mailbag into disrepute.
Yeah.
He is. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to one from last week. TWS. Congratulations. You've been asked to curate the Everton ephemera section in the new museum bar gift shop pump house thing at Bramley Moor. What bit of niche Evertonia are you displaying, inspired by a recent reference to Archie Knox's baseball bat? I put that in there all day. Stuff a legend now. I'd like to see every printed big every episode of Laugh Along with the Lovable Reds from When Skies Are Grey. I'd like to see that up there. That was brilliant. It was top cartoon and that.
Are we talking like artwork? Because I'm thinking,
Anything.
you know, I think it might be a pigeon skeleton that's stuck in the back of the main stand in there.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking that.
Yeah. Sidibe shin pad or sock, maybe.
Maybe.
The sign that Richard Wright broke his ankle on.
Oh yes. That's gotta go in there, hasn't it?
I've still got it somewhere.
Yeah, that's gotta go in there.
I'd say a picture of Louis McKechnie. Doesn't even have to be Mark Goodison, just a picture of Louis McKechnie.
The bolt cutters.
With the bolt cutters, defo. God, yeah, there'd be so much stuff we could put in there, like a sort of like alternative.
It's like
Everton.
a real life Everton mishmash thing.
Yeah, but like an alternative. I was going to say an alternative trophy room, but we probably need that anyway, don't we? Yeah, I'd definitely go with Archie Knox's baseball bat as well. I'm desperately trying to think of something from the 80s and 90s, but just genuinely can't.
Kendall's Lucasade bottle.
Kendall's Lucasade bottle is a shout. David Unsworth shorts. Could be used as like a tarpaulin outside. Stephen Sheehan's asked. So he drove past Calbit and Crowland on the way back from holiday in the summer. What's the funniest / strangest places you've ever been to or heard of? So I went out to see Radiohead at the Bridlington Spa, and on the way stopped off at Goole and passed a place called the Land of Nod, which was interesting. We need Keith on here for this one because there's some cracking Scottish place names.
I feel like Keith has probably been to all the strange places as well, with traveling all the time.
Yeah. Weird spellings as well.
Yeah. These sort of questions I needed to prep for, and I just haven't found the time. Like,
this is world-class content. This.
I've just googled funny place names. So
that's cheating.
There's lots of slightly uncomfortable sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Which I like.
We've got Shitterton and Wet Wang, so I'm going with those two.
Wet Wang.
Wet Wang.
Wet Wang.
Yeah. Where is Wet Wang? Wet Wang is a Yorkshire Wolds village and civil parish in East Riding of Yorkshire.
Wet Wang in East Riding. Okay.
There you go. I'm going with that. Wet Wang.
It all adds up.
I've just spent a lot of time working in the north.
You must have done.
Think of somewhere not weird, and then maybe think, was there somewhere weird?
I've seen a few weird place names up when I've been working up in the northeast, like Yarm, I think is a funny place name.
Yeah.
Just because it's exactly the kind of name of a place you expect in like Teesside in the northeast. Yarm. Where are you from? Yarm.
I'm probably just going to go with Colamendy.
Colamendy?
Because what a bizarre name that is. Colamendy.
Didn't the posh show call it Chumley?
Chumley?
Yeah, like when it's like the Earl or Duke or something. It's Chumley. You pronounce that as. Mad.
Could be anywhere in Wales, really. I don't want to upset anyone from Wales, but they've got some mad place names there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we absolutely butcher them with our accents as well. Because that never helps. And Matt?
Pinchenthorpe. There's one for Dave.
Went to a place called Little Dicker once as well. Down south. I actually, round there, that was when I was in a pub full of Arsenal fans when they beat us 4-0 to win the league. Just going back to that. Yeah, it was horrible the week before Coventry. Terrible. Yeah, to make matters worse, in a place called Little Dicker. Christ. Proper Arsenal telly-clappers as well.
Oof, I know, no comment.
Leave it.
Does it never wallop?
Never wallop.
Again, in Wales.
There's a place called... Go on.
I think it's... I apologise to our Welsh viewers if I get this wrong. Canafon?
Canaf?
No, Is that? Oh God. Sorry,
Kind
guys.
of what? Jesus.
What the fuck is that? Really? There's a place called Intercourse in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's now got your attention, hasn't it?
I was thinking Never Wallop. That's one for the incels, isn't it?
Intercourse
Yeah.
Intercourse is an unincorporated community and census designated place in Leacock. There you
Oh
go.
my God.
Ooh. Have we done Shitterton yet?
Yes,
No.
I said that before. I said
We've done
Shepperton
Shitterton.
and Wetwang.
Oh, of course. There's twat up in Scotland as well, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that's where Keith's from.
Harsh.
They're all coming out now.
There's Bitchfield as well. Clearly,
Oh,
that's where I'm from there.
I don't know why that's tickled me. It just made me think of Jeff
And
Gibbs
then-
from Phoenix Nights.
And then there's a place called Accident.
There's a commune in France called Condom.
There's Penis
Oh,
Stone.
yeah.
of course.
And Brest as well, obviously.
There's Penis Stone in I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it's
Penistone.
well, it looks like penis to me. In Barnsley. Nether Wallop.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wallet.
Blue Room Day out to Never Wallop. Let's do it.
And then there's a place called Ding Dong in Texas and another place called Fucking in Austria. So there you go.
I think we've exhausted the place name, but even if we've never been,
I think there's some brilliant places there.
we should go.
These all
Maggie?
sound like potential Europa Conference League destinations when we eventually qualify in 2030.
That's all we
Everton
want,
go to
isn't it?
Wetwang.
That's all we ask. It's not.
Yeah.
Why is it so much to ask? Don't want the Champions League. Don't even want the Europa League now. Give me that sweet conference. Maggie, a couple from Maggie before we break. Mailbag death metal, please.
No,
Is that aimed at anyone here? Anyone into death metal?
but my head hurts. I'm not doing any death metal.
No, not at all.
What about
Matt
you?
Frost. Matt, have you got a 1 minute political soapbox at all?
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
have.
talk.
There you go.
I
Take
have.
us into the break with your 1 minute political soapbox. There we go.
There's quite a few people over the past week or so who've been banging on again about one of their favourite subjects, which is going to solve the problems of the youth of today. National service. National bloody service. All the people calling for it obviously never did it, because I think the youngest person who actually did it is now like 78 or something like that. But apparently it's going to solve everything. And it's both infuriating and kind of a little funny, because you've got like these wet wipes, like that Seb Payne, the bastard child of Michael Gove, a failed Tory parliamentary candidate, didn't even get selected. The guy who looks like he got a medical exemption from his Duke of Edinburgh for having 4 different kinds of asthma. And he's there saying we need to bring back national service, blah, blah, sort out all the kids, all that crap. I think if you're someone who wants to cling on to power in a country like Britain today, I think the last thing you need to do is take a load of disaffected young people who all have a means of mass communication in their pockets. People who have, by and large, not many prospects, no chance of stable jobs, just gig economy shit, crap jobs, paying massive rent for crap flats to crap landlords, and they want to get them all together in a Butlins holiday camp and stick a gun in their hand and teach them to do military manoeuvres. Well, be my fucking guest.
Bring on that millennial junta. I'm in.
That was excellent. I'm not gonna lie.
And also, sorry, just to sort of expand on that, they want to bring together all these
Go
people
on,
and
Matt.
everything. It's going to be, apparently, because obviously the government can't do it, so it's going to be like local community organisations who support it. So you're bringing people together to do sort of pseudo-military training with local third sector organisations. There's a name for that. It's called a Soviet. It's literally what they did in Russia in like the 1910s. They don't realise, but they're basically inventing the Soviet Union from first principles as a way to keep kids off the street instead of just putting their hands in the pocket and building them a fucking community centre. And again, I say, be my guest.
That's the thing, isn't it, with all this? It's not difficult. It's just another one of those things that needs a bit of investment. Just give kids something to do. It's
They
like
can't
Give
even
them a
give them
fuzzy
the roof,
pitch.
collapse on them.
it's just a tale as old as time now. It's not hard, like all of these things. I enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed that. I thought that was he gave us a little bit of a snippet of it last night at the Bridewell, but that was poetic.
I mean,
I could go on for longer than a minute, honestly.
Feel illuminated after that, you know.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. If
Bring
only
on the
for
Scally Soviet.
Scally said
that could be the title.
that could be
Lid skis.
Lid.
That's all for part one. That was a nice way to end it. If if you take anything from that and it's only the Sebastian Payne description, that's fine as well, because that was something else. 4 types of asthma, easy. Right, that is it for part one. We will catch you again in a sec for part 2. Don't go anywhere. And we're back for part 2. I forgot to do the hot topic at the start, so Warren asked for the hot topics to come back, and who am I to disappoint a man like Warren? So this week's hot topic is, what's the strangest way you've ever got out of something that you didn't want to do? Does anyone know the story?
Don't know the story. Go on.
It's your man who escaped from the prison.
I did wonder if it was that.
So,
just be caught.
Oh, has he been caught?
I think so, yeah. That's what's seen this morning.
Breaking news.
So are you now asking us what's the strangest way?
I'll go first because I can think of one. So I think mine was, I was at a party that I didn't want to be at, but I didn't want to tell people that I wanted to go. So it was in a flat. I just went and sat on the roof for about an hour on my own. I just climbed out of a window and sat on the roof, which was quite dangerous because I was pissed. But it was quite nice. It was in summer.
That sounds ideal, to be honest.
And it was good. And then I got called and someone actually came out and found me on the roof. And were like, why didn't you just say you wanted to go? I was like, I don't know, I felt bad. But it got me out to go. And I just went after that. So I just looked weird. And but I got out of it. I got my own way, really. Yeah, I think that was an odd one.
I think we've all been in those sort of situations though, where you're at a party that you don't particularly want to be at. And have you never just done that where you just dip and leave without saying anything to anyone?
Never done that. I always say ta-ra.
You're quite good at that at the Denby as well, to be fair. You do go round and I
just like to hug everyone. That's all that is.
Definitely, I've definitely on a night out just gone, oh, I have reached my limit with my social battery and have just dipped without saying a word. But I know loads of people who've done that.
That's fair enough.
The weirdest way of getting out of things. Probably like family stuff more than anything. To get out, to just get out of stuff, just because it's exhausting. So I'm just like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm washing my car, can't make it.
Wash my hair.
Washing my it's hair wash day. The dog needs a bath. Sorry.
If you come up with an excuse though, do you need a good backstory? I always need a backstory.
Oh,
I need to convince myself that this is the reason why I'm not doing this.
Especially with my mum, because it just ends up with an episode of 20 questions. So I have to be ready and raring with a full on actual backstory.
Yeah, it's the best way. By the way, and for anyone watching on YouTube who don't know what's happened to Laura, for anyone not watching part on YouTube, Martin, have you dipped out of anything in an outrageous way?
I can't really think of an example, because if I don't want to do something, I just tell the person that I don't want to do it. And
it's the best way.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple of times where I've had nothing to do when I've been at a client site and we got a local office there, and I've just said, oh, I'm going to go do some project management, and then I'll just go back to the office and speak to my mates and have some free coffee, and just leave the computer open so if they need me they can ring me. But other than that, no.
I do like the vagueness of some project management as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to do project management, but yeah, just I've got to do some PM stuff.
Paul?
I'd say the only thing that comes to mind that I've gotten out of when I was in secondary school, Paddy might actually remember this. It was I was 2 years above Paddy. He might remember the same fella. We had a PE teacher called Mr. Long, and he was larger than life fella. Supported Chelsea pre-Abramovich from London.
Okay.
And there was a rumour, I'd never seen this with my own eyes, but it was heavily rumoured that he used to drive to PE lessons. And when I mean drive from PE lessons, drive from the car park, from the main building in school to the squash courts and the football pitches, which were literally 200 yards down the road, possibly. But one thing about Mr. Long is that he didn't like to give detention slips directly. That was too much faff, too much work for Mr. Long. So what he did was order people to go to the office and pick a detention slip up. So one day in the squash court, I was messing around doing something I shouldn't have been doing. And sure enough, Longy boy goes, go and get a detention, go to the office, go and pick up a slip. So I think it was like year 8, year 7, whatever it was. Go to the office or head towards the office, and then halfway through, I'm like, hang on a minute. Why am I doing this? Why am I going to pick up a slip? So then, in my mind, I'm walking there, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, what do I say? What can I do to get out of this? So literally just go, do you know what? I'm not going to go. I'm just going to say the office ran out of paper. And that was good enough for him. He said, come back to me at lunchtime. Never did. Sorry, Mr. Long, if you want.
Good work. So he's kind of got people digging their own graves there, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Terrible fella.
But a message to the youth of today, don't do that nowadays. Listen to your teachers, very important.
Always, yeah. Detention's not a good thing, not to be proud of. Not a badge of honour. Yeah, I think that just about covers that question. Sorry, we're dead on the for that. Laura, we'll go to yours from last week. Would I lie to you episode. Who's on each panel? Who's the mystery guest? What object? And who's the host? We'll work through this together.
I was going to say, I was hoping I didn't have to answer this one because it's too much brain power needed to think.
Who's you reckon will tell the most convincing lies? We'll just do one team.
We discussed it, didn't we, outside the Denver a couple of weeks ago? So I said definitely add Royston Drenthe on there. Andy van der Meijden, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Denise Barrett-Baxendale. Bill Kenwright.
I would watch this.
Got to have Ratters.
You
would be fantastic on a panel show.
Yeah.
John Osmond.
What?
Peter
Reid.
I was going to say Peter Reid as well.
John Bailey would be the Bob Mortimer.
That's a shout.
That is a good shout.
He'd come out with mad stories and you just would have no idea whether or not they were true.
Yeah. I tell you, be a shout as well, Peter Beagrey. I think you pick anyone from that sort of early 90s Kendall Mark II team and the stories will just be ridiculous.
Didn't he have a fight with Martin Keown in the 90s?
I think it was Sheedy.
Oh,
no, hold on. Was it Sheedy and Keown? I think Sheedy and Keown had a fight in the Chinese on one of Howard Kendall's team building things.
Oh, it's classic team building Chinese.
Team building.
Yeah. Peter Beagrey rode a motorbike through a plate glass window in a hotel.
Okay.
The most surprising one of them was Gareth Barry robbing a taxi when he was at West Brom. I would never have seen that coming at all.
Yeah.
He's too perfect to do anything.
Yeah, that's it. As like away day hijinks go, I would never have put him down to do something like that. But
he's what a wonderful man. Perfect cheekbones.
That was either a cry for help or an early midlife crisis, that wasn't it?
Definitely. Possibly both.
Yeah.
Who's hosting it then?
I reckon you.
Alan Myers.
Cheers, Al.
Cheers, Al.
Salutations, Alan.
What object would there be? An Everton-related object, when they have to explain what it is?
It's got to be Matt's keep off the grass sign.
Keep off the grass.
That would be perfect, actually, wouldn't it?
Or 2 days he was getting out of his loft.
Missed the testicle costume. I don't know.
The testicles costume. What about the condom? What was the condom?
Once again, I'll refer back to the Giant Johnny.
Giant Johnny.
It's winking as well, though, isn't it?
I know, that's the best. That's the best thing. No details.
He's only got one eye.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Cock and balls, man. It don't look like nothing else.
You're right there, Paul. You didn't choke this shit.
Ball's broken.
Get me his answer, Kenny.
right, on that bombshell,
That'd be
we'll go to another one from TWS from last week. He was delighted to discover recently that Phil Neville's last game for us saw him get dragged off for half-time. How was that only a recent discovery?
I didn't hear what...
past, never to be seen again. Who's your favourite player to have just disappeared?
Joe.
Just disappear.
Joe. Brazilian Joe just disappeared, didn't
he?
And Moyes fucking fuming. He just didn't he just go off to Brazil or something and just didn't tell anyone he'd gone?
So did he ever come back?
Am I remembering that right? Have I made that up? That happened, didn't it?
He did definitely.
Pretty sure it did.
Spanish, yeah.
They probably done something similar.
Lucina Traore.
Oh,
Big lass.
I'm gonna go with Rodrigo.
Oh, God, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He looked good in that white kit as well, didn't he?
He looked sensational, didn't he? He looked absolutely brilliant. No idea what he was like in football, to be fair.
He looked great. He probably was great from the knee up.
Yeah.
Francisco Jr.
Oh my God. Yeah. He got played against Leeds, didn't he? And that was it, I think.
Oh.
In one of Moyes' League Cup masterclass formations.
I vividly remember
a massive whitey whilst that match was going on.
What's that?
I was having a massive whitey whilst that match was going on, so I have no memory of it.
Probably for the best.
That French lad, Boris Mathis, or whatever his name was, do you remember him?
Boris Mathis?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, like a Dutch striker or something, wasn't he?
He's French.
Was he French?
French,
oh,
yeah.
3 points.
Bloody hell, I thought you made that up.
No, I haven't.
Jelaine Plessis.
Oh, God, yeah. Didn't Arsenal want to sign him?
Who?
And we did. And it
Jelaine
turned out one of the French players that Arsene Wenger didn't sign because he was shite.
I think he was.
Right, so I think to finish off, we've got a lot of questions from Maggie. So it's a hot one today again. So Maggie, should we all break into Finch Farm and use the ice bats? I would love to.
I'll be honest, when I first read that question, I just didn't even compute the fact that it was hot. I was like, oh, who are we looking at in the baths? But yeah, ice bath all day.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Did we do Mailbag Death Metal? We did, didn't we? So that's a no. Soapbox, yes, we did. That was brilliant. Daily, discuss. That's it.
Daily?
Yeah, discuss.
Are we discussing Daily?
I don't know.
A very lovely man.
Lovely
an all
man,
round
but a referee's
great
nightmare.
fella. Wonderful. Yeah.
Good
hat wearer.
Discuss.
As far as we know, still incumbent Warrington Teacher of the Year.
No lie.
I might have lost that title last year. Quite gutted about it, but you know what, lads? I had a good run.
You will always be Teacher of the Year to us anyway. So that's
like
all
3 years, wasn't it?
No one else matters.
Once you get 3 years on the bounce.
Reigning champion because of COVID.
It all counts. You got to keep it.
Go to mass. Go to mass, touch grass. There you go. A daily motto to live by.
Look, can't see them, but Laura's eyes just lit up when you said touch grass then. Easy one, this. Ice lolly or lolly ice?
Freeze rod.
Lolly ice.
Freeze rod.
Lolly ice, all day.
Lolly ice.
No, actually, I got a little story about this. So I've been working at a power station for 10 weeks, and it can get really hot, inside the main bit, because there's all sorts of steam pipes and that. So what they did was they got a big massive chest freezer, stuck it outside the main entrance and filled it full of ice pops. So you just got workies bouncing out of there in their overalls and the hard hats, and they're just reaching in and getting 4 ice pops and just scranning them on the way back to the desks. It's great.
Any blue ones? Who's that's all the blue ones?
Oh, the blue ones.
There you go. It's a bit of it's a sort of campaign from Maggie, I think. When will you hold Keith down and make him get his Awobi tattoo? So, just for reference for anyone who doesn't know, someone tells the background about this.
Keith said,
staying up, wasn't it?
Keith said if we stay up, he will get a tattoo of Alex Iwobi
in the Lampard season.
in the Lampard season. So
Doing that.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was the fingers, weren't
he
they?
had,
Yeah,
he,
Newcastle
had,
celebration.
he had a couple of photos lined up of what he may or may not use for the tattoo, and he said he was going to crowdfund and raise money to pay for it, and any money over he was going to donate to Everton community.
And he never did any of that.
He never did any of it because he is an absolute bag of shite.
At least he didn't raise the money and then shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, as that ship sailed now, Iwobi's gone.
Yeah, I feel
That'd
like
be funny.
it would be even
Make him
funny.
do it. Funny.
It
Yeah.
would be even funny, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Laura Gates, Wirral Tourism Board. Please name one specific destination on the
Right.
Pleasure Peninsula to spend a nice day out in.
Do you know what? I told her last night, and I said she's more than welcome to join me on doing the full Wirral Circular Trail in a couple of weeks. But she's shite bagged out of that as well, so she doesn't deserve my 1 minute Wirral soapbox, quite frankly.
Oh,
Surely there's only one
interestingly-
right answer to this. Future Yard.
Oh,
Nah.
yeah, Future Yard. What a
No,
venue.
it's a great venue. But
Weather like this, nice little outdoor mini festival.
Oh, yeah, that'd be lovely. Next week is the Wirral Real Ale Trail. That does give you quite a nice little round trip of the oblong, actually.
When and where's this?
It's next week, so I think it starts at the Cock and Pullet in Birkenhead or something. Well, there's buses that go all day, but it does go. I think goes the White Line, goes the Irving Mill.
Good clubs, though.
Yeah, it does. It does like quite a few good boozers. Take it on that. Oh, Dave's not here. Dave Downey versus the Leather Shop.
I don't think anyone needs that.
No.
On a day like today, Jesus.
Oh God, absolutely not. Oh God, there's one for me as well. Worst parent you've encountered in children's football, and did you chin them? I'm not sure if I've told you about this, but there was one woman didn't chin her, thankfully. But she was just like, she was just screeching the whole game at our left back, like targeting him. This was when they were like under 15s, I think. That's like a grown woman targeting a 15-year-old lad, saying to the ref, send him off, absolutely screeching. I just end up shouting across the pitch, like, will you just shut up, just give it a rest? And she starts marching round, like in proper full-on pantomime style, arms going up, like as if to say, I am marching round to you. And then, I don't know, I was like right over in the other corner of the pitch. She sort of got halfway and then just walked back. So I think she just, this is too far, so I can't be asked anymore. But she was possibly one of the worst just purely because she was like targeting a player. It's like,
At 15 years old as well, it's a bit.
Yeah. And then under 16s, there was one fella at Shafts. It was basically winding their lads up all games, like the assistant managers, I think, but constantly winding them up. And it ended up in a 22-man brawl.
Yes.
Love it.
I did because I got fronted by a year old and he was about 6'2" and would have taken my head clean off. So I did your thing. I just told him to grow up. I just
put some grass, grow up.
Like absolutely shit myself because he would have cleaned me out. So that was fun. But yeah, you do meet some terrible, awful people.
I've had my dad once got a penalty overturned. He just kicked off and was like, "What are you fucking playing at? That's not a penalty." We'd conceded a penalty, and he just went off at the ref and was like, "That's not a penalty," and then basically just told him why it wasn't a penalty, and the ref just turned around and went, "Fair enough, actually, you're right," and then just didn't give the pen.
Wow, so like a sort of precursor to VAR, but it
was
level.
It was.
Oh my God, I've got it, Laura. He was a VAR.
I remember the first time I watched Paul Daly play football, actually, for Talking Toffees. He ended up in A&E for about 7 or 8 hours after because he dislocated his bloody shoulder and I didn't get to play for like another 4 months or something.
Oh God, yeah, I remember that.
Very first time I'd ever seen him play football.
Friday night, I know. That was our first meeting on the footy pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Memories.
And look at us now.
Look at us flourishing.
Here we are, all the lads.
Weirdly, I've kind of not left the question for the end, so that's like the end of the questions.
Woo!
So there you go. Good mailbagging. Thanks everyone. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Laura. As I say, got in touch from Grass today. Thanks to Paul. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. We'll catch you next time on Mailbag.